Okay. Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Free Friday night clinic returns 9 to 11 p.m. Brock on Bluebonnet every single high school football Friday. Parish Construction and Roofing, commercial, residential. We'd love to help you out. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, Boatcock Brothers, Premium Cigars. Use code MAT15, 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 MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, y'all, let's say some good mornings here. We'll get rolling. Brian Kelly met with reporters. Well, that's interesting. Brian Kelly met with reporters after practice. What are these cuts in here?
He's been grinding.
Oh, that was post-game. Why is Brian Kelly wearing that shirt? He wore that to his post-practice. Maybe I could ask him this. Why would you wear? I wonder if this is just a Nike mandate. Remember last year when Kalen DeBose and they lost to Vanderbilt, and he was wearing that dry fit T-shirt. It's like Brian Kelly's wearing that ugly dry fit T-shirt with the weird like stain on the breast. It's like not stain, or you know what I mean, like that shadow, that dark thing, like just right here. It's like what is that? Can we throw on a coach's polo maybe? Anyway, all right. Nonetheless, Brian Kelly did meet with reporters on Thursday after practice and gave an update. Said Trey'Dez Green questionable, West Weeks doubtful for the game. He did also explain why Garrett Nussmeier is going to play in the game.
Because he's feeling good. We had to limit a lot of things that we did the first 3-4 weeks, and he's finally coming to practice feeling good and getting into a good rhythm. This is his best week of practice, so we want him to go and play the game at a level where he's comfortable, and to hold him back really at this point would not be the right thing for him, so he's excited to play because he feels so much better. And I don't want to say, hey, he's back to the Garrett Nussmeier, but there were a lot of things that he couldn't do that he had to kind of adjust to, and it's good that he's back, and doing the things and throwing the football the way he feels and comfortably.
There's the latest. So we could stop giving our opinions about it and weighing in on it and guessing and guesstimating. Let's go see him play a game against a dramatically inferior opponent and see if he can go sling it around there and throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. And everyone will go, okay, he's back to being Nuss. And then they'll go to Oxford next week against a bad defense, and hopefully they light it up. And if they do, then maybe we start to see this offense actually get into a little bit of a groove and play really well throughout November and hopefully or October, then hopefully November as well, with a lot on the line. All right, let's say some good morning, y'all. You know the drill. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Casey, Thomas, Jeremy, Tiger Poppy, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Bubba, no sweat, good morning. Gridiron from Morgantown, West Virginia. What's going on there? Why are you going to the airport? Flying somewhere? How'd you guess? Saw your luggage. When the notice plane ticket, I put 2 and 2 together. Ryan Stadler, good morning. Always enjoy the show. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that, man. Hey, Robbie, good morning. Cartel, shalom, good morning. Brett, good morning. Chance, Joel Rogers showed great restraint, not throwing a punch in return. I think it was also very heady of Jack Pyburn to jump in like he did and get between the two of them so that didn't escalate any further. So, yeah. Kelly effectively gave a no comment when asked about the Jabbar Juluke 3-game suspension. just kind of deferred to Sankey. I wish Brian Kelly had gone harder there and defended his player. He didn't. His prerogative. Tiger Diver, good morning. Is that a Section 103 shirt? It is. Yeah. So this is I love this shirt, by the way. It might be I think this is the only gold LSU polo I have, but I think dramatically underutilized logo, the helmet logo on a gold shirt. This is gonna be great for baseball too. I know it's not the baseball logo, but like Sunday gold for baseball, I think this is gonna be great. So Section 103. Here, I'll post a link. If you use the code A, they really did great with their polos. All their stuff, like this hat is the Section 103 hat as well. So, like, I mean, I think Section 103 has done an awesome job with their stuff. So, hat tip to them. Their gear is great. Use the code AFR for 10% off. Hang on, I'll post the LSU link here for you. Several of them are already sold out. So, like, the other polo I have with the state of Louisiana patterned and the Tiger head logo is sold out right now. They need to get more of those in. Good prices too. I mean, relative to these polos, $79 for these polos. Hey, they got great stuff. Anyway, here you go. I'll post the link. It's use the code AFR for 10% off. AFR, like after further review of my show, use AFR for 10% off. It's at on anything at Section 103. Hey, Merrick, good morning. Ricky, good morning from the Berry. All right, Ricky. Thomas, day 19. Let's go. Crank it up. Get ready, Dale. Sylvain, good morning. Do you think they ever bring back neck? No. No. They're never going to encourage it for certain. I'm sure that's mandated not only from the head of the bands, but the university, the athletic department of the university, the SEC, the networks, all of it. No. Casey, taking my son to his first LSU game tomorrow. He's only seen high school and McNeese stadiums. Can't wait to see his reaction. That's great, man. How old is he? I wish I remembered my first game. I have memories of being in the stadium when I was little. I mostly remember driving up from New Orleans and tailgating on the old Front Nine. Mr. Wayne, one of my dad's friends, coworker, they tailgated there at the clubhouse at the old Front Nine, and he had a van, a gold van, like with purple tiger paws on it, that they tailgated out of. And so we'd go meet up with them. There's some like things I remember, like the game against Miami in '88. That was the drive and rainstorm. I remember sitting in the rain, right? Like I don't remember anything about the game. Thankfully, LSU got destroyed in that game. But, I can remember a game against Alabama. Had to be, would it have been 88 or 89? Baton Rouge was 89, 32-16 Alabama. I remember just watching like the Alabama mascot had like Big Al had a stuffed tiger, and he was like on a string and he was like slamming it on the ground. It's funny the things you remember. I don't remember anything about the game, but anyway, I hope you and your son have a great time, man. That's awesome. Hey, Dale, good morning. How's Jabbar Juluke? Has Jabbar Juluke been fired for assault yet? He is not, inexplicably. I'm stunned. I really genuinely am. The first time I saw the video, saw him strike Joel Rogers, I was like, he's going to get fired. And he should be fired. And I'm not going to stop saying he should be fired on every platform I have the opportunity to say it on. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful that the commissioner and Napier and Strickland didn't fire him. 4 of the 5 interceptions came from the safety room, karma or something like that. I think it's just you've got better players. Better players in an aggressive defense. And after it was your worst position on the field a year ago, and you went and addressed it. You added Halsey and Cooley. Deshaun Spears is a year older, year wiser, year better. I mean, yeah. Hey, Bob, good morning to the Casa del Scone and the Moscona Familia. Have a great weekend. You too, Bob. Thank you. Hey, Phil, Matt, I have a prediction. LSU signs Nico and fixes him. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen, but okay. Hey, Patrick, good morning. Happy Friday. Go Tigers. Go Skippers. My daughter goes to Mandeville. Okay. That's awesome, man. Hope you all have a great Friday night. Those Friday nights are fun, man. Band, team, cheer, all of it. You know, it's memories. You get a very finite amount of time in your life to do something fun like that, and hope you enjoy all those opportunities. That's great, man. Hey, Jason, good morning from the airport. Next up, Denver. Team Drew kicks of the day. Have not chosen my kicks, but you better believe it'll be one of my many purple and gold pair to match the shirt. Hey, Hadley, good morning. Bringing my son to his first game. We're from Mississippi. Looking forward to tomorrow. That's awesome, man. It is really cool. You know, an opportunity like this. Again, a game like Southeastern crowd probably won't be as amped up and charged, and maybe not even as heavy a crowd, maybe a little later arriving crowd. So that's awesome, man. Hope y'all enjoy the day. Hey, Ryan, hope we get Harlan Berry going out in space this week, ready for Ole Miss. We have way too many weapons not to get going. Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, I still, during all our camp reports, I think I shared with you that, I had someone on staff tell me that they believed that Xavier Thomas or Jawan Johnson would end up being the second leading rusher on the team. And it's looking that way, right? It's going to be one of those two guys. But I'd love to see Harlan Berry get more attempts. This would be a great opportunity to do it. Thought Tech was going to be a great opportunity to do it. We saw him wiggle loose at the end of that game for the big 40, 43 or 48-yard run, whichever it was. And Xavier had a long one, and he had a long one. But, yeah, man, would love to see a lot of young guys get in and get going. Brett sure looks like he's BK. Yeah, it's just like he's sweating on one breast. It's weird. Hey, Dustin. Jason Dale, suck it. Brad, good morning. Wasn't Jabbar Juluke causing problems when he worked at LSU? Was he a good coach and recruiter? I don't know that I remember him causing problems at LSU. It's been 10 years since he worked here. So I can't say that definitively. What I know is like he was brought in to recruit New Orleans. They had some pretty significant recruiting misses in New Orleans that year. And I don't think he was a great running backs coach. And so he was basically told, go find a new job. So he was only here for 1 year. Then he went to Texas Tech and then joined Napier at ULL and then went with him to Florida.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Oh. Wow. Of Texan Terrio. So Georgia Terrio, the youngest of the three, is running they're in College Station. The Nike Elite Invitational cross country course, 3-mile course, cross country course, invite only. And so Georgia Terrio is there running this morning. So no Ryan Terrio on AFR today. They're in College Station for the the cross country meet. Anyway, so Georgia's running in like 15 minutes. So it's an early start. But anyway. Where are we? Sorry, y'all. Here we go. I caught the dumb. Mike, good morning. Hope you and your family do well. Thank you, Mike. You too. Hey, Leon, good morning. Brad, do you think the Chiefs are done? Will they make the playoffs? Oh, I think they'll make the playoffs. It's interesting because there's a stat about in the history of the NFL, 6 teams have started 0-3 and made the playoffs. Only one since the year 2000. So, anyway, Chiefs are 0-2. History very much against their side if they lose today. And it's not that you're bad. It's just that it's hard to dig out of that hole. Same with the Bengals a year ago. They lost a couple of close games at the start of the season. You spend the rest of your season trying to dig out of that hole. So, big one for the Chiefs this weekend. That's great, man. Who are the Chefs? Hey, Chuck, what's up, man? Coming to LA. All right, man. What's going on in LA, Chuck? And by the way, it's 5:04 a.m. What you doing up at 5:04 a.m. in LA? Let's see. Crack it up, Scone. Bradley, good morning. Miracle, good morning. Adre, good morning from the 337. Shout out 337. Planet Low, no matter how hard they try, fans will find a way to sing that. That's true. Tim, Jacob. Oh, cool, Casey. So your son's 15, so he'll definitely remember it. That's awesome, man. 15 years old, going to your first game in Tiger Stadium, he'll remember it. That's great, man. What a memory. Good for y'all. Hey, Patrick, oddly enough, I can somewhat remember my first Saints game, 1984 in the Dome, 8 years old. Richard Todd was our quarterback. What a time, man. Hey, Terrell, good morning. Hope the game goes in the right direction so our young players can see the field, especially Van Buren and Hurley. Yeah, I'd be curious to see if they would play both of those guys or if they would just play Van Buren. That would be my assumption, by the way, also, is that Van Buren would be the number 2. They rotated a lot interchangeably with the 2s. Van Buren and Hurley did, but my guess is Van Buren would be the guy. It was interesting, kind of like a season ago where you had A.J. Swan and Ricky Collins. And, Collins was kind of the higher upside guy, longer term, but Swan had played. And so it was always kind of this thought, right, if Nuss had to come out for a play or a series or whatever, who would go in? My thought was always that it would be Swan because he'd been in those environments before. So, but then I think against some of the lesser teams they played, I think maybe it was Collins who went in. But I wonder, like, if it was like an SEC game on the road, big spot like that, I think they'd probably go with the experience. Hey, Hunter, he wears a shirt because it's extra padding. He's always getting kid on the sideline. Cole, taking my 7 and 9-year-olds their first game. This is awesome, man. That's really cool to hear all these people taking their kiddos to the first game. That's great, man. Hey, Robbie, if Nuss throws for 3+ TDs and good yardage in the first half, does he sit the second half? I don't know that he sits the second half, but usually I think something like that as you get out there and, if you lead a scoring drive in the third quarter, and you're up 5 scores, 6 scores, whatever, then you go to the backups. Hey, Michael Green, good morning. I know you believe that Nuss's injury is severe. However, do you think it could be the reason really underthrown ball Berrien? I've heard that argument. And maybe it was just timing off and not so much the inability. But that's the one that people mention. And Musso mentioned on air the other day is a good point. The ball against Clemson to Kyle Parker, where he threw across his body and whipped, there wasn't nothing missing on that ball. You know what I mean? That was a week before. So, David, you think Nuss's injury has held the play calling back some? I do not. I don't know how many more ways I could say this. And David, I'm not saying that if you haven't heard me say it yet, but I don't believe the injury has held back their play calling. I believe it is far more a product of trying to protect an offensive line with 5 new starters, in particular against Clemson and Florida, that have very good pass rush defensive fronts. And I think they were determined not to let that pass rush beat them, which is why they threw quick hitters at or behind the line, short intermediate stuff, as opposed to letting stuff develop down the field. And the other thing too is, I don't know, maybe they did call shots down the field that weren't there because teams have played coverage against LSU until they prove they can run the ball. And so Nuss took a check down. Like, maybe they did call shots down the field. And he made a smart decision. That's why I always say, like, it's hard to criticize play calling because you don't know. I don't know the play call. Like, what if they called a deep shot and they're playing 2 high safeties, and so everywhere in the field, guys are double covered, and so Nuss took a check down? Well, that may look like, oh, it's his torso. He won't, or maybe it's because he made a smart decision with football. Tiger Diver listening to Locked On this morning. Sounds like NOLA high school coaches reach out to you. What was their defensive Jabbar? There was no defensive Jabbar. It was just basically taking shots at me. And it's embarrassing. But look, this is a fact and has been the case for a long time. The New Orleans area high school coaches are really like a fraternity, and they have a very close knit group, and that's amazing. I'm not speaking ill of that at all. But that can't supersede your responsibility to the young people you coach. And the comments I've gotten have basically just been insulting to me. And one coach in particular said, stop acting like they're kids, they're grown men. I'm like, Joel Rogers is 19 years old. I mean, these are college football players that he's not even 21 years old. I'm not saying he's a small child, but this isn't an adult in the professional workforce. And even if it was, like, imagine walking onto an NFL field and seeing a coach slap a player in the face. Imagine walking to any field and it's anyway. They're just defending one of their own. That's all. With just blind defense of one of their own. That's it. They see a guy from New Orleans, coach New Orleans high school, who's made it big time college football, and they're defending one of their own. That's all there is to it. Yeah, well, that's true. This is family week at LSU. So our parent week, I think, is what they call it. So there should be a lot of people on campus. Hey, Ryan, do you see a scenario where Lagway gets in the portal and the Tigers pick him up? No idea. I could see Billy Napier being fired and DJ Lagway going to the portal. I mean, I could see that. Could LSU pick him up? Sure. I listen, LSU is going to add a quarterback in the portal in this cycle. They're going to add a quarterback. The interesting thing is whether they add a starter like Oklahoma just did with John Mateer, like LSU did with Jaden Daniels, like Notre Dame did with Riley Leonard, Miami did with Carson Beck. You know, are you adding someone like that? Or are you adding a Michael Van Buren and AJ Swan? You know, someone who's played SEC football, and played major power football, but probably more of a backup type situation. That's what's going to be fascinating. I think a lot of that just depends on what they believe they have with Van Buren and Hurley. Hey, Alton, good morning. Patrick, Gamoggan, underrated weekend for great college football. It's not a great SEC week, but it is a really good week of college football with a lot of those games. The SEC schedule is terrible this year. But the Big Ten, by and large, is now into their league games. Remember, the Big Ten plays 9 league games. And so the first 3 weeks, all the Big Ten teams play their non-conference games. And so then by week 4, this week, it's all Big Ten games the rest of the way. So you do have good games like Michigan, Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana. You mentioned Michigan State, USC. So you do have some good Big Ten games this week. The best game of the weekend, I believe, the most intriguing game for me, I think, is Auburn, Oklahoma. If you told me I could watch one game on the entire slate all weekend, just pick one that you could only watch one, it would be Auburn, Oklahoma. Fascinated by that game. Oklahoma stole one last year. Auburn had that game in hand. Peyton Horn threw the late pick 6, and Oklahoma stole it. Now this game is in Norman. Auburn looking for a little bit of get right. It's Jackson Arnold going back to Norman. We're going to see about OU now they get into the meat of their SEC schedule, how it looks, how that, especially in particular, how that offense looks against the meat of the SEC schedule. That's going to be a great game. 2:30 ABC. Really excited about Auburn, Oklahoma tomorrow. Hey, Thomas, 19-20 tomorrow. Let's go. Get ready, Dale and haters. Yeah, Georgia State beat Vandy last year in Atlanta. I didn't forget that. Good interview with Coach Selfo. Seems like a nice guy. He's a great guy. He's just a lifer, man. He's a lifer who's coached at every level. He's coached high school. He's coached JUCO. He's coached FCS. He's coached at the major college level. He's coached in the NFL. He's with the Jaguars for a while. He was on that Tulane staff, that undefeated team in '98. He coached Nick Foles at Arizona. I mean, he's done a ton, man. He's a 66-year-old man. He's a coaching lifer. Just done a ton, seen it all. Great chat, man. Really enjoyed that convo yesterday. Thank you. Christian, I know this asking you to peer in a crystal ball, assuming BK is at LSU until he retires. Do you think his successor is promoted from within? I don't believe so. I just don't believe LSU is a promote from within program. Jared, good morning. Thank you. Yes, Section 103. I posted the link for Section 103 a bit ago. I'll post it again. Use the code AFR10. AFR10. I'm sorry. AFR. Code AFR for 10% off. AFR for just AFR. Three-letter code AFR for 10% off on anything at section103.com. About a minute left here. What's going on? Show the comment. Is it fair to question strength and conditioning for the reason the O-line can't move bodies during the run game? No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's scheme and technique. They are a big, strong, physical, talented group. I don't think that's the problem at all. I mentioned it before. Go watch, if you have a chance, Handycast from this week. Richard Dixon does a great job with the film breakdown. But there are just things like, for example, like a combo block. If you don't know what a combo block is, it's when you have two offensive linemen that sort of double team the defensive lineman and one lineman breaks off to the second level to get to the linebacker. So, for example, if, let's say, the running play is set to go in the B gap, it's going between the guard and the tackle, all right? And there's a lineman shaded in that gap. Well, what's the best way to block that lineman and the linebacker? Well, it's probably for the tackle to block down, the guard to engage and get his body around while the tackle then works to the next level. That's a combo block. Well, you got to know when, the tackle has to know when to get to the next level, how long to stay engaged. You got to have enough time to get to the next level to get to the linebacker, but you also have to make sure the guard has gotten around. Like that is timing. That is just timing and rapport with the guy next to you. And that just takes time to learn the guy next to you, strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, to know the calls that you're making. And I think that's the problem they have. You can say, well, why didn't they run better last year? Great, because they played together. Great question. And if you ask Cole Kublik, he would tell you it's not that they couldn't, it's that they didn't. They didn't try to establish the run. He gave some stat about there's only 30 times all year where LSU ran the ball on consecutive plays, which is crazy. But if you're not trying to establish the run, then you have to run. Are you able to run when you have to run? That's kind of the premise. Harold, good morning. Abner, good morning. John, going to take Tulane over Ole Miss. Any other run dogs? I don't know that I'm going to take Tulane to win the game, but I do believe they are a live dog. And I'm surprised to see that number keep ticking up. I know people are maybe high on Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback who came in for Austin Simmons. I think with a week to prepare and game film on him, that element of surprise is gone. I think Tulane's a talented team. I would not be surprised at all if Tulane went there and won that game, especially because I think Ole Miss's defense is poo-poo, and I think Tulane will score. Okay. I got to go. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Remember, free Friday night clinic from Brock is open tonight for all high school football players, coaches, cheerleaders, dance team members, band members, anybody. You're injured on a football Friday night, you can go see a doctor for free at Brock on Bluebonnet every single football Friday night. Parish, all of our sponsors, linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Locked on LSU is live, AFR3. See you.